Now let's see how to find out the probability of finding the particle. We have also studied the expression for probability from a wave function. So let's solve it. Our wave function is psi x is equal to 2 by L. It was capital L sine of n pi x by L. All right. Now for first energy level, for E1 n is equal to 1, it means psi x is 2 by L sine pi x by L. Generally the question comes like, okay, let me draw the energy level diagram again. In first energy level we had this kind of curve. All right. In second energy level we have this kind of curve. This is E1, this is E2. The question generally comes like this. In energy level, first ground state energy level, the probability of finding the particle is maximum at the center of the box. The question comes like this. All right. So center of the box means the distance from 0 till here is L. At the center will be L by 2. So the probability of finding the particle at the center of the box is maximum. Generally this kind of question comes. So let us prove. How to prove is, the probability is given as psi star psi dx, limits 0 to L by 2. I want to find out the probability at the center of the box. So from 0 to till the center of the box. All right. So now what I do, substitute the value of psi over here. If I substitute this value, I will have P is equal to psi into psi will be 2 by L. I am doing it directly. I don't have much space here. So sine square, n becomes 1. So we have pi x by L dx. This comes, boundary is 0 to L by 2. Let's see what is the probability. So 2 by L comes outside and 0 to L by 2. Sine square theta will be converted to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So we have 1 by 2 outside, 1 minus cos 2 pi x by L dx. Hence probability will be integrated. 2 will come outside and will be cancelled out. So we have 1 by L. Inside the bracket, integrated, this will be x 0 to L by 2 minus sine of 2 pi x by L divided by and limits are 0 to L by 2. All right. So here you have L by 2. So this will be 1 by L by 2. All right. And this factor again becomes, when you substitute L by 2, L will be cancelled out and 2 will be cancelled out. We will be sine pi x. Sine, we will left with only sine pi. So sine pi will be 0. In second case also 0. From here we will have L cancelled out with this. The probability is half. So we can say the probability of finding out the particle from 0 to center of the box is half. In the rest of the half, it will be again 0.5. So half probability this side, half this side, total becomes 1. So this was when n is equal to 1. Now comes the second case. In second case, from 0 to L by 2, the probability of finding the particle, what is that? Let's see. Okay, so before doing it for the second energy level, let us calculate what is the probability of finding the particle at the center of the box. We have already studied one probability relation is given by psi dx is the small distance. Alright, so when I calculate the wave function at x by L, we want to find out the probability at L by 2. So probability, hence psi at L by 2 will be two by L sine of n is equal to 1 for first energy level. We are talking about first energy level. N is equal to 1, it will be pi by L, and x, value of x is equal to L by 2. So this is 2 by L sine of pi by 2. Alright, so this is psi. What will be probability? Psi star psi means twice this function. Psi star, because it's not a complex conjugate, we can write it 2 by L twice of this function. Sine square, sine pi by 2 becomes 1. So it is 2 by L. Okay, 2 by L, and we have to multiply by dx also, which is L by 2 is equal to 1. So we can say probability is maximum, which is 1 at the center of the box. So this way we can prove it. Now let us do it for n is equal to 2. For n is equal to 2, the psi wave function will be is equal to 2 by L sine of 2 pi x by L. So what will be the probability from 0 to L by 2? First half of the box. Let's calculate. So the probability will be 0 to L by 2, 2 by L, I am doing it directly, twice of this function will be this, sine square 2 pi x by L, sine square dx. Alright, again convert this into cos function, L by 2 and 2 by L, 1 minus cos 4 pi x by L and whole 2 dx. 2 will be cancelled out, probability will be 1 by L comes out from here. Alright, after integration we have x 0 to L by 2 and minus sine of 4 pi x by L divided by 4 pi L, limits 0 to L by 2. Alright, now from here we will have 1 by L inside the bracket, L by 2 minus 0. Again from sine function, when you substitute the value of x is equal to L by 2, L will be cancelled out, 2 will be cancelled out, it will be sine of 2 pi, which is 0. You can substitute the values and cancel the terms. Again when you put 0, it will be 0. So the probability will be L cancelled out half. So probability is 0.5. Again same as it happened in case of energy level 1. So in both the cases, the probability in finding out the particle in half of the box, till half of the box, is 0.5. Now let's see what is the probability of finding the particle at the center of the box when n is equal to 2. Now at n is equal to 2 and at x is equal to L by 2. At the center, we are not talking about any region, we are talking about a plane which is at the center of the box. When x is equal to L by 2, what will be wave function? Psi 2 by L sine of 2 pi by L, x is L by 2. So L cancelled out, L cancelled out, L, L. We are left with sine pi 2 by L sine pi is equal to 0. It means the wave function itself at the center of the box for second energy level becomes 0. Hence the probability again becomes 0. Alright. So this way you can find out the probability at any particular point also, or between any two boundary limits in any region. Now the probability curves can be drawn like this, because probability is always positive and it cannot go to negative axis. So probability of first energy level goes like this. No nodal plane, everywhere the finding out the probability is there, but at the center it is maximum, we have already calculated. Similarly, for second energy level, at the center there has to be one node and the probability is 0. So this kind of two curves comes for the probability density for E3 also and E4. The next important thing is, let's prove that the wave functions associated with the particle in 1D box are orthogonal to each other also. So I have taken two different wave functions, n and this is m, two different wave functions. So what is condition of orthogonality? The condition of orthogonality is within the limits, within the confined limits, psi n star and psi m x has to be equal to 0. So this is condition of orthogonality. So we can prove it like, let's substitute the value of n and psi m over here. Alright, so I will directly put it here, 0 to L, I will have a sine of n pi x upon L into a sine of m pi x upon L and dx. Alright, now a comes out of integral sign and 0 to L we have sine of n pi x upon L and sine of m pi x upon L dx. So for sine these two functions I will use a trigonometric formula, which is if I have sine alpha into sine beta, that will be equal to 1 by 2 cos alpha plus beta, alpha minus beta minus cos of alpha plus beta, this formula. Alright, so from here I will have a square 0 to L 1 by 2 outside, simply substitute the value and simplify it, 1 by 2 outside, integral of cos alpha plus beta. If this is alpha and this is beta, what happens? Pi x upon L is common over here, pi x upon L is common over here. So I will have n minus m pi x upon L minus cos of integral of n plus m pi x upon L. Okay, okay, minus and dx this time. So if m and n are integers, their difference will also be an integer. Here also their sum will also be an integer. So you have e square 1 by 2 cos of this angle, integration, limits are from 0 to L. Okay, here also 0 to L. All right. So here you have sine of n minus m pi x upon L, and this divided by n minus m pi by L. Limits 0 to L minus sine of n plus m pi x upon L, this whole divided by n plus m pi x by L, 0 to L. So in both the cases you have sine function, integral multiple of pi x. When you substitute the value of x is equal to L, you will have integral multiple of pi. Here also sine, angle, integral multiple of pi. So these all the terms will become 0. Alright, 0 means this entire factor becomes 0. So we can say this comes out to be equal to 0. Hence the two wave functions are orthogonal to each other. To simplify this, you do it step by step. The calculations are very simple, but you have to do it yourself for your understanding. We have derived this wave function. We have solved the Schrodinger's wave equation to get this wave function for 1D box. Now let us extend this 1D box problem into 3D box. 3D box means now the space where the particle is moving will have all the three directions or three coordinates. So let's see. Here I have drawn a box with different lengths along x, different distances along x, y and z axis. Along x axis the side is L1, along y axis it is L2, and along z axis it is L3. So the box is having three sides of different lengths, and we will discuss what happens when these three lengths become equal also. Alright, so along x direction we have this wave function. Similarly along y direction we will have, here is L1 because along x direction. Similarly along y direction we will have L2 sine of, I must mention here, this should be nx. This is ny pi y by L2. This is L1. Alright, and along z axis we have 2 by L3 root sine of nz pi y L3. So these are three individual wave functions along three directions. Now to find out the total wave function, we have to multiply this. So we must remember one thing, while finding out the wave function we must multiply these three wave functions along three coordinates, and while finding out energy we must add the energies. So energies will be added and wave functions will be multiplied. So we have here psi x, psi y and psi z. Alright, I substitute the values of psi x, psi y, psi z from here. So the wave function x, y, z, it will be 2 by root L1 root sine of nx pi x L1. Nx is the quantum number along x direction. Similarly, here we have 2 by L2 sine of ny pi y L2. Alright, and along z direction we have 2 by L3 sine of nz, sorry, this is subscript, pi z coordinate and L3. So this is the complete wave function when the particle is moving in a 3D box. Now comes a special condition when the length of the sides are equal. Length of the sides of box are equal. The box becomes cubical box. So for a cubical box, we have L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L3. So all these three factors will be same. Hence, the wave function will become is equal to root of 2, 2 and 2. This will be 2 cube, 8. L, L and L. Let's call it equal to L. So this will be L cube, and sine function as it is here, L1 and L2, L3 will be replaced by capital L. So we have sine of nx pi x by L, sine of ny pi y by L, and sine of nz pi z by L. This is the wave function in 3D box. So let's find out what is the energy. Energy of the particle is given as E is equal to, because E is a function of quantum number, so I will write it like En is equal to n square h square upon 8m L square. This was in 1D box. 1D box. Alright. So now we have to find out the energy in 3D box. So expand this expression. We have Enx is equal to nx square h square 8m L square. Similarly, ny, this will be square h square upon 8m L square, and Enz, nz square h square upon 8m L square. These are the three components of energy along x, y and z direction. So the total energy will be E will be equal to Enx plus Eny plus Enz. Alright. Substitute the expression of Enx, Eny, Enz over here. So the total energy will become, we substitute these values. Alright. H square upon AML square is common factor in all the terms. The only difference is nx square, ny square and z square. So this will come out, and inside the bracket what will stay? We have h square 8ml square outside. Inside we have nx square plus ny square plus nz square. Alright. This is, again we can replace this term with simple n. So I can write expression for energy as this will be replaced by n square. So I can write it n square h square upon 8m L square. This is total energy expression. Here n square is equal to nx square plus ny square plus nz square, or we can say the quantum number is equal to root of nx square plus ny square plus nz square. So this is expression for energy in 3D box, and this one is wave function in 3D box, 3D cubical box, especially because length of all the sides is equal. Now let us see what is meant by degeneracy of energy levels. Alright, so we have seen this expression for energy in 3D box where nx, ny and nz are the corresponding quantum numbers. We replace this term with n square. Here this n square is known as reduced quantum number. Reduced quantum number. Alright, now we have the value of energy depending upon what are the corresponding values of nx, ny and nz. So we have different sets of all three quantum numbers. Like in the minimum possible value for reduced quantum number is nx square plus ny square plus nz square, when nx is 1, ny is 1 and nz is 1. So when the energy state is 1 1 1, it will be 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square is equal to 3. So 3 is the minimum value of reduced quantum number for a 3D box. Alright, similarly when nx is 1, ny is 2, nz is 3, or okay, let me take 2, nx is equal to 1, ny 1 and this as 2. So what will be the value of reduced quantum number? 1 square plus 1 square plus 2 square, 6. Now we take another set which is 1, 2 and 1. Again the value will be 1 square plus 2 square plus 1 square, 6. And if I take 2 over here and 1 for other two quantum numbers, it will be again 6. So these three sets of quantum numbers will have same energy value or the same value of reduced quantum number, and in turn the value of energy will be same for all these three energy levels. So we will call them degenerate states. Or we can say the degeneracy of this energy level will be 3. So if the energy is, I can write it here, if the energy is 6h square 8ml square, the degeneracy will be, here is 3. So this way you can try another combination of quantum numbers. As the value of these energy level varies or increases, the degeneracy will increases. So we are doing here one problem. The question says use the time independent Schrodinger's wave equation to calculate the energy of a particle of mass m with V is equal to 0. V0 means potential energy is 0 in the state where psi is given by this expression. Alright, so we have already solved Schrodinger's wave equation for in 3D box. Now the length of the box given is a. Alright, we can compare our wave function which was psi is equal to 8 by L cube sine of nx pi L sine of ny pi by L and sine of nz pi z by L with the given wave function. So we can see nx, ny and nz here are equal to 1. The coefficient here is 1 in all three, and a is equal to and L is equal to a. So this is the problem. What we have to find out? Energy of the particle. All right. Expression for energy was E nx ny nz is equal to nx square plus ny square plus nz square and h square upon 8m L square. All right, this is the problem. Now L is A. Over here I will substitute A square. Value of n is 111, so it will be 3. So this is 3h square by 8m E square. Hence the energy is 3h square 8m E square. Because the numerical value of A have not been provided here, so we can leave this expression like that only. Otherwise, if they have given the mass and the value of A, we can substitute these values and the value of Planck's constant also, and then give a numerical value in numerical terms. Let's see one more example. This example says calculate the wavelength corresponding to the lowest energy excitation of an electron confined to a one-dimensional box of length 1 nanometers. So this is clear that we have to find out solution. We have to find out lambda, which corresponds to first lowest energy excitation. Lowest energy excitation. All right. Lambda means we must know the energy corresponding to the lowest energy excitation. So lowest energy excitation means the excitation is happening between E1 and E2. This is the lowest energy excitation. So we have to find out the energy difference of these two quantum states. So we can write in first state E1, the energy will be 1 square h square upon 8m L square, if L is the length of the box. For the second state, E2 will be 2 square h square 8m L square. Alright, so this is h square 8m L square, and this will be 4h square 8m L square. So delta E is difference of these two, right? So we have delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. E2 minus E1. 4 minus 1 will be 3. So this will be 3h square 8m L square. Mark it equation number 1. Now we also have one relation between momentum and energy. What is that? We can write this energy delta E as P square by 2m, right? And again from de Broglie's equation, from de Broglie's equation we have lambda is equal to h upon p, or I can say p is equal to h upon lambda. What I need here is p square. So p square will be h square upon lambda square. If I substitute this value of p square over here in energy expression, this energy will be equal to h square upon 2m lambda square. Mark it equation number 2. Now compare equation 1 and 2. These both are the expression for this energy difference which is corresponding to first excitation. Alright. So when you compare these two, this will be 3 h square upon 8m L square. 1 and 2, I can write it here. Equation 1 is equal to equation 2. So this will be equal to h square upon 2m lambda square. Alright. H will be cancelled out. M will be cancelled out. 2 and 4. So we are left with 3 by 4. 1 by L square is equal to 1 by lambda square. We have to find out lambda. The value of L is provided, which is 1 nanometers. Alright. Okay, I will write it here only. So this will be from equation 3. Rearrange the terms. We will have lambda square is equal to 4L square by 3, or lambda is equal to 2L by root 3. If I substitute the value of L, which is 1 nanometers, so this will be, so lambda will be 2 into 1 by root 3 nanometers, or the wavelength is 2 by root 3 nanometers, corresponding to the first excitation for a 1D box.